Okay, hey, thanks. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're getting ready to experience a great day. I'm your host, Derek Lane, another edition of the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the listenership. And today, let's focus a little bit about our mood. What is our mood? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it challenging? Is it subjective? What is our mood? Did somebody cut you off in traffic already today and it changes your mood? How our mood affects us, affects our propulsion to success, our inertia to success. So, again, mood is a very powerful thing. It can also change our perception of our world, right? Mood can be a very positive or a very negative thing. Now, if your mood is in a good mood, it tends to have what we call a worldly view, a very open and expansive view of the world where other things start to be positive. So a great mood expands our positive view of the world, whereas, obviously, contrastly, a negative view shortens our view of the world, and we start to think inwardly as opposed to outwardly. Inwardly, we start to think about everything that's wrong. Why is this happening to me? Gosh, it always happens to me. I can't catch a break. Damn it, every time I go to do something, it always screws up. I'm always having to, deal with, crap that I shouldn't be dealing with. Nobody else deals with it. Well, that's what your mood does for you. That's where your mood sends you into a negative, catastrophic, inwardly perception of your world and your reality. Whereas, again, if you have a positive mood, a positive outlook, your mood is great. You expand your view and you think, oh, good things are happening. Good things are going to happen. So, we all deal with different people. We all deal with the moody people that are up and down, up and down. And maybe you're one of those people that are up and down, up and down. But I'm here to tell you that there's a correlation between your mood and the amount of things that you can accomplish and how you accomplish. So your mood is a dictator of your accomplishments today and your achievement for your lifetime. So you need to understand inwardly versus outwardly, expansive versus narrow. Your mood is a predictor, if you will, of your reality, okay? Your thought process as a cognitive control mechanism is dictated through your mood, through your mind's eye and what's going on around you, and to pay attention to the stimuli that create your mood. Are you preoccupied with a mentally challenging task that creates that inward ability? Maybe you're doing too many things at once. That's what I'm saying. You have to understand your mood. Understand what is the derivative of your mood. What's causing your mood? Is it a person? Is it a thing? Is it a process? You have to define that, because until you garner control over your mood, you are going to have a hard time accepting the outcome of your achievements. What's funny is we go through our day, we have intellectual capacities that we can control, and yet we have things that we can't control. And it's the limited thinking that can cause a negative effect. Who's better than me? Do I feel... and this may sound silly, but, it may sound silly that, I'm concerned about, how tall I am. I'm concerned about my weight. I'm concerned about how smart I am. All of these things play into, our reality and our perception and our perception of reality. And again, it can dictate our mood. Now, I'm not asking you to be apathetic and just take a whatever, I don't care mode. I want you to care. I want you to think about the things in your life. I want you to think about the things that matter to you. But I don't want you to harp on the things that you can't control. Okay? You cannot control your height. You can control your weight, but not immediately. You go to work on that. You have the ability to learn. You have the ability to care. You have the ability to share. You have the ability to put forth an interest in other human beings, which is in a lot of part a catalyst to affecting your mood. What you get from your world and as I stated earlier, your global view of the world affects your achievement. When you start to expand what you do as a person and you start to feel good about yourself, and this is the key, you have to feel good about yourself, no matter what if you think you're not keeping up with the Joneses, you're not on board for that promotion, or your business venture is failing. Those are negative things that can affect you, but you have to look at the big picture always in a global expanded view in order to maintain a positive mood, a positive perception of your reality. And I'm hoping I'm not losing you here a little bit, but it's very important to understand this. And there's some research out there, if you want to look it up, about expanded view and personality traits. And mood is a dictator. And when you think that you're always upbeat and energetic, I want you to be subjective. I want you to really think about times and circumstances when things didn't go your way, and how did it affect your mood? Well, you may be saying, well, Derek, it's only natural to have a bad mood if something didn't go right. It's only natural to have a bad mood when, your achievements weren't met. Well, to a degree, but as I've always said, in our life, failure is a prerequisite for success. We have to experience setbacks in order to travel down the current and correct path to success. It allows us to blossom as human beings and to blossom in our cognitive thinking and who we really are. And this is what I guess the whole end game is who are you really? Have you discovered who you really are? Have you discovered what life really means to you and how you're affecting other people's lives? It's so important. It's so important to understand your path. Again, tonight's theme is about mood. If you're a moody person, your mood shifts and swings, and one day you're optimistic and you're gung-ho, great, and then the next day you're pessimistic and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're doubting and criticizing. You can't live with the polarity of an indifferent balance. In other words, you can't have the criticism, the positive, one day to the next. You have to learn to live with a positive attitude, a positive mood all the time. And you need to understand what makes you tick as a person. What drives your modus operandi? What is your motivation? How do you need to be in a positive mood all the time? All the time, with your family, your friends, your work, your career, everything in your life. When you get up in the morning, are you turning on the news and you're hearing all this negative crap? And that's how you get your day started? You get a cup of coffee and a cup of negativism? Is that how you're starting it out? Or do you start out with your cup of coffee, a smile, you read 10 minutes of a book that you're wanting to get through, and you're lifted. You can't wait to jump in the car and turn on the Fast Lane Podcast for Success, and get a little bit of rejuvenation into your world, and think about, this is what it takes for me to achieve things in life. Whether it's me, whether it's whomever that's, you're listening to, God bless you, that's great. But the bottom line is we have to control and dictate our moods. Okay, so kind of part 2 about moods is that a mood is an emotion, right? It's an emotion, and you have to be in control of your emotions. You don't let other people dictate your emotions. If someone does something to you you disagree with, you can get mad and pissed off, or you can understand, or at least try to understand their motive and come to a clear, concise conclusion that maybe they're wrong, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, maybe they're right, whatever the case may be. But allowing that discontent, allowing that difference of opinion to affect you emotionally in your mood is dangerous. Because if you're not of character that can control your emotions, then you're subject to any ill wind blowing here or there that will drive you into a frenzy, into depression, drive you into disappointment, drive you into anger. That is not a successful person. A successful person understands their emotions. A successful person understands what it takes to control their emotions. And they don't let other people do it. They understand the situation, they analyze it, and then they create an environment that's conducive for them to be successful. You deal with it, you move on. It may be uncomfortable. It may be, disheartening, but you deal with it and you move on because you know greater things are ahead of you. So I guess the lesson today is that the moods and the emotions that we experience can be very detrimental if we don't control them. If we don't affect the moods and emotions within ourselves, they can be so detrimental. It can set you back, okay? And we're all about moving forward. We're all about projecting forward in a success path and a career path and a family life path, one of loving family, loving community. This is what we're here for. Hopefully this is why you're listening to the Fast Lane Podcast for Success, is that you get these little insights, these little details, little inspirations that propel you forward. Hopefully that's what I'm doing, because I put some thought into this. I've concentrated around some of the things that I experience to be able to relate to, okay? I think that, again, we've kind of brought it home. You dictate your own emotions, you dictate your own mood, and you control your mood because you know your mood controls you. That's what it's all about. We're gonna be successful when we know that we own the world, that we own ourselves, that we are who we are. No one dictates to us. We dictate to everyone else. We control our emotions. You can allow everybody to influence you and, proverbially slap you around. That's not you. A successful person owns themselves. They own their situations. They own their world. So you own your world. And you work constantly and diligently on being the best that you are, nonstop. And God knows I appreciate it. I appreciate you listening, and thank you for the listeners on iHeart and iTunes and Spotify and Spreaker and Stitcher, the SoundCloud.